Yeah, bro. I just want to thank you for coming on the podcast with me, bro. Like this right here, a real special experience for me, man. Especially, what we came from growing up together and is being able to just walk this path of life with you, bro. And you transitioning your life over to God, and me transitioning my life over as well, because we both know what we grew up in and what we came from. So this is just a real special moment for me, bro. And I still be in disbelief that I get
Yeah.
to do something like this with y'all. Cause y'all know we used to be doing the crime together.
Right, man. All praises to the Most High, bro, just for change. You know what I'm saying? I mentioned that today when I saw you and Zion podcast, bro, and it brought me back to a moment to where like, bro, I know these guys, I know where they really came from, and it's just a beautiful thing to see y'all on that journey too, bro. You know what I mean? I
Yes,
love it,
sir.
bro. Make me feel good, make my soul smile. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You on the wine right now?
Yeah, man. I'm
Yes.
on. Yeah, I'm on the Chardonnay, man. I like Chardonnay. I, boy, you so funny. I love the red wine, but I was like, you know what? Let me get on the Chardonnay, man.
I see you getting the relaxation pill in. That
I
boy
got to,
relaxing right
man.
now.
Cause the thing is, you think that I just don't get nervous, like I'm some type of robot or something. You know what I mean? But I'm human, dog, and look, I'm probably sweating right now. You know what I mean? So I get nervous. You know what I'm saying? I get the jitterbugs. You know what I mean? And I think everybody do, bro. Anybody that's a singer, an athlete, anybody that's about to take a test. I don't care if it's your first day at work. You're gonna be nervous.
Yeah.
First day of school. It's exciting, but it's nerve wracking.
Yeah, I guess I kind of I thought that because you've done so many performances in front of people, bro. I almost thought you were immortal, bro. That's why when you told me that you get nervous, I was like, bro. I went and talked to my wife about it, bro. I was like, this man actually gets nervous, bro. Gave me some confidence because for you to be able to go and perform in front of that many people, I still don't understand how y'all do it. How y'all can just rap y'all words and rhyme in front of the camera and just look so normal and make it look so casual. But like you said, when you lock in and you get your first words out, it kind of
Yeah,
just it flows
it's
after
over.
that.
It goes. Football, for example. You was a big hitter. You know what I'm saying? I know you was nervous before those games, but after you get that first hit out the way, it's game on.
Yeah, it is,
It's
bro.
game on. So that's
Yeah,
what it's like. I think everybody have a bit of anxiety here and there, bro, when they doing something new, and when they worried about what people think or what they say or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? It can put you in a frazzle mind state.
yeah. It's all about that self acceptance, bro, and just feeling that rejection because, but just to touch on the topic because I'm glad you brought it up because I just want to talk to because of what Brooks went through yesterday. It kind of like it opened my eyes up to be able to talk to you about what I'm gonna present to you now because I was like he had the self awareness, because Brooks real spiritual. He said he got the physical down pat, he got the spirituality down pat, but then he admitted that his faults was in all of his emotional intelligence.
Well,
And
I, I'm sorry to cut you off, bro, but there's no one has the physical down pat. It's only one person that actually walked this earth that had the physical part of this thing in order. You know what I mean? And that's Yahshua Hamashiach, our Messiah. You dig? Um, a lot of we could obtain a lot of knowledge and get a lot of wisdom, but at the end of the day, it's the action part. You know what I'm saying? So it's the doing. That's why I say the physical, like you said, brother. You know what I mean? And it's important for us to practice the physical. You know what I mean?
yeah, but what I want to kind of touch on, like, because Mark deep in the scripture, but for him to be aware that, and because that's kind of what my channel is. Like, I try to I want to help people heal. You and
Correct.
Mark more into the scripture. But like I said,
Hmm.
because Mark can speak a lot of scripture, but at the same time, I seen with the whole emotional, because I have problems with the emotional intelligence too, bro. And I
Right.
wasn't even aware of this because, like I told you before, I thought that by me paying bills and by me taking care of my household, that made me a man. But
Right.
when I would get in arguments with my wife, she would always be like, man, you acting like a child, man, you turning me off. And I would be like, man, what you mean by that? She like, man, you acting like the woman in the relationship. Let me be the woman and you be the man. I'm like, I pay all the bills. How am I not the man? And she made me become aware that my responses to her in these situations was like a 13-year-old immature boy. And I didn't know that at first, because I thought by me paying the bills, every man thinks that, a man's built off of, egotistical and taking care of and being a provider.
Correct.
So that's really mainly what a lot of, I would say 80% of guys focus on is being providers, and they don't really focus on the emotional side.
Providing and protecting.
And like we talked about last night when we was on the phone, when you was like, how you had to learn the emotional side of how things go with your wife, being emotionally available and how that has helped your relationship progress. Because, like I said, the average guy is going to think, hey, I'm paying all the bills, I'm taking care of kids, everything cool. And this is where a lot of problems could come in a relationship when guys not having that emotional intelligence. Because it's funny, bro, when you told me that, when you get an argument sometimes and that, you was thinking about going to stay the night somewhere else. And what Brooks did, he getting in arguments and he thinking about going to stay the night somewhere else. And I thought to myself, because I judged Brooks, bro, in that whole situation. And I thought to myself, let me judge myself. And I'm like, I just did this a week ago, bro. I was laying in the bed with my wife and I was like, dang, you don't want to give me none? And I got in an argument with her. She was tired. She wanted to go to sleep. Bro, I got up out of the bed like a little boy and threw a fit, bro. I got my fan. I went and laid on the couch. I came back, argued with her some more, laid in the bed, and I got back up again like a little boy again after I argued again and went and laid on the couch again. And she was like, look what you doing. You going back and forth to the couch. And I sat down and I'm like, dang, I'm judging Brooks. But I just did this a week ago with my emotional intelligence. I acted like a child. And it's like, bro, we all do it. And I've learned because I had a problem, bro. Like I chased the knowledge just like y'all do. And I felt like the knowledge made me powerful and I could spit a lot of knowledge and I can go out there and, and spit verses to people and say this and that. And I'm like,
it's the physical.
And it's like, I'm not even acting how I'm supposed. I'm still having problems and acting like a child with my emotional intelligence. But the whole thing is just becoming aware of that in the first place,
Right.
Because we ain't, because ain't nobody perfect. And I get for a lot of people, it's hard for them to accept that, to really look in the mirror and to know that you ain't perfect, especially with the emotional intelligence thing, which a lot of us go through. Because, and I want to explain to Brooks, like, you have to think, like, what if you going to speak it to in front of a seminar? Like, what if me and you, all of us going to speak to a big crowd and you get in an argument or something don't go your way and we get in a heated argument and with our emotional intelligence and we don't process our emotions right and we just shut down and we ain't even be able to perform after that. I don't know if you ever went through that, bro, because, you've been on stage a lot. Like, has that ever, affected you?
I wouldn't particularly say the music, but in different situations it has. I get in an argument and then I'll take it out on somebody else. You know what I'm saying? That has nothing to do with it. But music wise, I can't say that for sure. And I have to not let these fans and these supporters see what's going on me. I can't wear my heart on my sleeve in front of my fans and the people who, who love my music. It's times to be vulnerable. You get what I'm saying? But I can't say like strictly music, but on other avenues, yes, I have. I've letting things get to me and I let it carry on to work or carry on to with a peer of mine or my mom, you know what I'm saying? And it can be where it could be vice versa. It don't have to be my woman. It could just be anybody and you just carry it on to the next person just because you allowed them to lower your energy.
And that all comes from that. It all comes from that trauma, bro. Just like when I was having a conversation last night. I was like, this what a lot of people do. This what I did wrong, and I feel like a lot of other people make the same mistake that I made. And that's why I want to help people become aware of this, because it's like you transitioned over so you can kind of speak from experience of like coming into that new life and that new lane. It's all a new path for us. Like when I transitioned over, what I failed is like, okay, when I basically buried the old version of myself and I became the new version of myself. So I was doing the whole family thing, I was being a good husband and I thought that's all it was to it, bro. But what I didn't realize is that just because I became the new version of myself, by me burying my old self, I never really healed the trauma from my old self. So even in my new self, like my kids don't even know it, bro. Like, cause I'm being a good parent. I'm putting on this act. Well, not even an act because I have a good heart. And it's like a lot of the old stuff started to creep back in. You know, I'm arguing with my wife 10 times a day. You know, I'm arguing with the kids aggressively. I'm just doing weird shit. And they looking at me because like they don't know nothing about my past. So they don't know where any of this is coming from. But I know
Mm.
where it's coming from. And that's when I kind of I kind of had an ego crack. I'm like, why am I going through these depressive moments in my life? You know, I got a good wife. I got a good family. I've changed my life. I've transitioned over and it's been years. But I still was feeling depressive moments. I still was going through stuff in
So
my head. And
so you know, Satan gonna attack the areas where you're most weak at. You get what I'm saying? Um, when you're trying to do things the right way, bro, the righteous way, bro, honest living, working, you know, trying to take care of your children and provide for them and protecting them, bro. And I think I told you this the other day, but I want to say it here too. That he doesn't Satan doesn't attack the people he already has. You get what I'm saying? So to answer your question, the reason why you are going through these ups and downs and situations is because you are aware of you're conscious enough to know that, hey, I want to do right. You're conscious enough to pray in the morning over your life. You're aware of Satan's attacks. So when it comes, it's like, oh Lord, man, why I'm going through this, why I'm doing this, and da da da. Da. But
but
the ones who get up every day and don't are not knowledgeable about spirituality or even conscious enough to have emotional intelligence and things like that, Satan is going to already has them. He already has them in a bind. So they're not even knowing that they're in a fight. You know what I'm saying? But you know you're in a fight. So a lot of times you can see these attacks coming, and of course you're gonna be attacked, bro. You're trying to do it the righteous way. Feel me?
see, I get where you coming from on the scripture, but this is kind of where I went deeper into myself. Because on this matter, I can't really blame Satan. What I really learned is that I had to deprogram myself from all of the fucked up ways and the shit I learned throughout my trauma filled past. Because yeah, I can blame Satan for the attacks, but I feel like that's kind of putting myself in like a victim mindset and putting the blame on somebody else instead of really taking responsibility and deprogramming myself from all of the fucked up things I learned growing up. And that's why I like to channel the trauma thing. Because when people go over and give their life to Christ, they might wonder, like, why am I still, doing certain things that I'm doing? Because even though you transitioned over, you still have to deprogram yourself. Like, who taught me all of this anger and aggression? Getting abused by my stepdad. Like, I had one situation, my stepson asked me, he was like, why do you always talk so aggressively to me? Why do you tell me to do the dishes in an aggressive way? And I was like, because, my elders taught me this. He was like, yo, your elders taught you this? And he was like, which one of your elders? And my son helped me get to the bottom of it and become aware. He was like, which one of your elders taught you this? I was like, I thought about all my aunties, my mom, and I was like, you know what? My mom or my aunties didn't teach me this. I was like, this is how my stepdad used to yell at me to do the dishes and be aggressive and mean to me. So, and I didn't even realize, that like, how can I dislike somebody so much who abused me? And then I would be verbally abusive to my son the same exact way. So I couldn't blame that on Satan, bro. It was a trait that I picked up from my stepdad through the trauma. And I inflicted the same, like you said, we
So
talked about the
so all of
generational
the, all of
trauma.
these all of these traumas and generational curses have an origins, bro. So I kind of when I spoke on Satan's agenda and him attacking, um, that's the origins of it all. That's the beginning state of it all. It's like you as much as you can say, oh, I'm putting blame on myself, and you taking the initiative too. That's the second step to being able to come up out of it. But acknowledging who it is that's attacking you is now you have the power. You feel me? Because some people, like I just explained to you, most people do not know that they're in a battle. Feel me? There's a reason behind attacking you. You get what I'm saying? It's a reason why Like he can. It's not only, bro. He can put thoughts in your head. You ever had a situation where your girl was out and then you just had an intrusive thought that was like, man, I feel like my woman ain't being real with me, or that's an intrusive thought. That's a thought that Satan can plant in your head, right? And make you respond to it in a way that you're not supposed to. You get what I'm saying? So let's talk about your stepfather, right? The traumas that he had, right? And the devices that Satan set up on him, it just got handed down. But we have the power to break generational curses. Get what I'm saying? Um,
It's yeah,
we do.
yeah, and that's
We do.
but
But the main way to doing that is just being better than the person that wasn't as good as to us.
but
Focusing
that's the
on
thing about it. How do you be better? That's what you got to ask. Like how do you be better?
you do the opposite of what they done. If he never talked to you and had a real man conversation with you, well, you do the opposite. You pull your stepson in the room and have a man to man conversation with him. And when I say man to man, I ain't talking like grown man to man. You know, teach him, talk to him about things that's going on in school. Talk to him about sports. Talk to him about his spirituality, how he feels, or what's on his mind. Those are the things that your stepfather probably never done. So that's all I'm saying. Just do the opposite. You feel me? If he was abusive, don't be abusive. If he was the person who always argued and yelled, do the opposite. My dad and mom, like my mom, bro, she was very supportive of everything I was doing. My dad, he had 9 kids, bro. When we moved back to Georgia, my mom was in a position to where she had to better herself in order to better her kids. So when she got out of her marriage, she basically had nothing. She didn't have a GED or anything like that. You feel me?
Mhm.
So I I took on a lot of trauma. I took on mom being absent here and there. I missed pops being. It wasn't no abusive thing, but it was more of an absent thing, and not being there to be able to tell me certain things that I need and give me certain tools that I need in life. So here I am with 3 boys, 1 girl, right?
Mhm.
And I'm making sure that everything that's being said and everything that's being done is totally opposite. Totally opposite. You know, um, I've been in relationships where I argue and stuff like that in front of the children and stuff like that. Prior to those situations, I never done. But people trauma can pass down to you. Now, this is a significant other I'm talking about, right? She's used to cursing and going back and forth with past relationships, and I'm not. But now that we're together, here I am following, doing the things that you do. That's how quick things can get attached to you. You know what I'm saying? That's how fast a demon can jump off a person and be like, I'm on you. So once we're aware of all those things, like, oh yeah, he did this, he did that, I'm just not gonna do that because that's not righteous.
I'm glad you brought that up because I'm gonna tell you a story about that.
Talk to me.
That's exactly what I did. Like so when I came into like with my wife, because I had my stepson,
Mm-hmm.
and I vowed to myself that I would never do the same things as my stepdad did to me, and I did that, and I went to the extreme with it because my stepdad, he would buy my sisters more things and make them look nice, and he wouldn't get us material stuff. So
Right.
that kind of made me grow up and be materialistic. That's another one of the traumas, but not anymore. I got over that.
Right.
But so what I did is, since my stepdad did that with me and would buy my sisters nice things and not buy us anything, I made it a point to buy my stepson all of the nice things, even before I would buy my biological daughter nice things. And so I kind of tried to show him love through materialism, not realizing that what I was doing that because that's pretty much
Yeah.
what my stepdad did.
That's what and that's
So,
what that's what my parents did as well. But go ahead, bro.
but
I was I was raised off of money and not love. And I think that's why me and you got so attached to Michi's family. You feel me? That makes
yeah,
sense to why me and you were so close to that family because they didn't have anything but each other.
Yeah.
So they embraced me and you on separate occasions when we had our situations with love. Feel me? It wasn't about money. They didn't have money. I used to take out of my grandma's freezer and take fish and certain frozen food down there. You know what I'm saying? At their house. Yeah, we had, they didn't. But they, my parents and my family thought that the material, the money, the paying for this, you never had to do this. You never had to worry about that. You always had that, but that's not love.
Material love. That's what I call
Exactly.
it.
It's material love. You get what I'm saying? But as a child gets older, they don't need material love, bro. They need eternal love. You know what I'm saying? That like,
And
go
yeah,
ahead.
and what and just explain to you the story.
Uh-huh.
So I went into the marriage with my wife. I'm like, I'm gonna do everything the opposite of what my stepdad did.
Right.
Because my stepdad used to physically abuse me. So, and then my wife also taught me this. She was like, you got a problem with comparing your trauma. Because you thought by just because you didn't physically abuse him, that it was okay to verbally abuse him. Because I'm like, bro, you ain't getting half of what I got done to me, what I got done, by my stepdad. So you'll
Right.
be okay, not understanding that my verbal abuse was tearing him down more than the physical abuse. So my wife
Correct.
also taught me that to stop comparing your traumas, thinking one is worse than the other when they all cause damage.
They
But
all
this is
equal.
yeah, but this is why I messed up at. Because I went in and I was like, I'm gonna do everything the opposite. And when I did that, it's like I tried to bury what I went through, but I still felt the depression and pain of everything I went through as a child still in my marriage now, all these years. That's why I was like, I'm doing the right thing. Remember I told you earlier, I'm doing the right thing. I'm being a good parent. I'm being a good dad. Why am I going through depressive moments? Like, why am I having these thoughts? Like, what's
I gotta
going on
attack.
inside of
I
me?
I have to attack where you're weak at. That's the
And
only way. That's like I got to. I have to. I have to
but
attack where you weak.
I get what you're saying, but my thing is you got to become aware of that pain and that trauma so you can heal it. Because if you try to bury it, it's just going to pop back up and you might be having a good time with your wife and you might snap on her because you're aggressive and you might argue. Where did your aggression come from? Who taught you how to be aggressive?
Do you remember
What,
what
what,
I asked you a couple of days ago
what?
about forgiveness?
Yeah.
You remember I asked you that? I believe that that has a lot to do, and it started raining. Let me move out of the way a little bit. I believe that forgiveness has a lot to do with I don't want to say burying the trauma, right? But
Yeah.
getting the trauma, getting rid of the trauma. It's a start. You know what I'm saying? To where we can get rid of the trauma. And forgiveness is like one of the most things that we can do, one of the biggest things we can do because we do a lot of things in our lives that we want forgiveness for, especially from our creator, our father, right? Like we know we done some things in our lives that well we're not happy of and we're not proud of or whatnot. And we want forgiveness. We want a clean slate. We want to be able to be like, hey, I need another chance at this. You know what I'm saying? And uh God bless his soul. You know what I'm saying? He, you can't uh you can't bring that, you can't have a conversation and like fix that, right? But what you can do is let go and let Yah, let our creator have all your burden, bro. Let him have it all, and once you get to that point to where you can forgive, bro, I promise you nothing won't bother you. Nothing won't bother you.
I would say I've been forgave my stepdad. I actually like,
Okay, I had to bring it up again because the you didn't know the first time I asked you. I don't know, bro. And I kind
I
of
would,
you didn't have a for sure answer for me, but now
cause,
you giving me an answer, bro. I mean, that's a start, bro. And I
cause,
feel like, bro, that's the beginning of healing trauma.
because when I think me going to jail is what like kept me away from a lot of it because I grew up in a fucked up hellish situation, bro. I was getting my ass beat like every other day when we was kids, and but and I held a lot of that anger in, and I've and I think the other half of my life of me being incarcerated kind of saved me from a lot of the stuff that he did. But when he died, I had love in my heart for him, and I wanted to be accepted by him, bro. I felt so rejected my whole life,
Right,
and I
right, right,
wanted to
right.
be accepted, and I was just willing to do. And that's kind of like what led me to doing all of the criminal things I did in life, because I wanted to do anything to be validated. So in every situation I did, it's like I looked at it as a validation to my stepdad. Like I
Right.
can like break in the most houses, I can steal the most
Yeah,
cars,
yeah.
I go to jail the most, I want to be the hardest. Like so, I wanted to always go to the extreme, like in a competition, to be the best at
To
anything I did,
prove,
whether it was
to
good or
prove.
bad. But it was like
Yeah.
I was proving to him. It was like he was the shadow. Like I'm gonna prove to you, I can be this. I can be the great stepson that you keep rejecting, and that's where a lot of my traumas came from too, trying to prove to him in my childhood, and I collected so much pain and so much trauma, like and that's why I said, bro, when I grew older, bro, and because a lot of people go through this, bro. A lot of dudes suffer in silence, bro.
In
Because,
silence.
bro, and I'm gonna tell you one thing about it, bro. Because I'm like, I hear what you say about giving it to God, but one thing people got to know, bro, when you give it to God, you still gonna suffer because you really got to look. So once you give it to God, God gonna give you the downloads and the pathways to fix yourself. But because like me and you talked about, a lot of people go to church and they get the word and they wait for God to save them instead of getting up and doing the action themselves. And that's where a lot of people fall short, bro. Because my auntie went to church, bro, every day of her life, bro. She could speak any Bible verse that you can think of. She was that hard. Bro, when she died, my mom them cleaned out her house and they secretly found pills for depression in her cabinet, bro. And she never told nobody, Corey. She
Right.
was in church every day. She was speaking all the best Bible verses. She never told any of my mom and
So
them or nobody about
so
this depression.
so having the knowledge and being able to quote scriptures doesn't heal you.
That's what I'm trying to get people to
Yeah.
see. That
Yeah,
that,
it
that that's
doesn't
my
heal you.
exact point.
You can
It's
quote, Satan knows scripture.
bro, the demon is spitting at you, boy.
Up to my
Bro,
it'll spit right there, spit it at you. So it's the action, bro. It's the action. Remember I told you the other day, I say, bro, don't let nobody stop. Don't let nobody dictate your character. Feel me?
yeah,
No,
I
always
remember that.
continue to do what you do. So regardless of what landed to you, just know that somebody's always watching you. What are you gonna do though? I got him. I got him. I took care of him. But you, what are you gonna do about it? So no matter what he did, I know it's easier for those traumas and stuff to be handed down or taken out on somebody else. But we have to be conscious of what we're always doing, regardless of what someone else is doing for us. Our Messiah laid down his life for the church. The church turned their back on him. The church is the one who got him crucified. The same church. He never stopped. He never stopped. He never wavered. He continued to be the same person. It's called long suffering. Yeah,
I was
you're gonna have to take some whips on the back. You're gonna have to keep walking though. You might drop and hit your knees a couple times, but you gotta get up and keep going.
and yeah, it's just because the real first step is the awareness, bro. Because that's what like I feel like a lot of people, because they kind of want, because once they transition over, and they go to the Bible, and they kind of get stuck there, and that's
Yeah.
like you said, it's the whole action part, because they like waiting for God to come down out of magical gate and
Yep.
drop some money in their lap, or either take away like because the awareness part and the action part is a key, because once you come to God, He gonna give you the blueprint. You just gotta listen. But how you listen? Meditation, writing your journal, get away from distractions.
Being
But once
still.
you
Being
but once
still.
you align, once you align, though, you pretty much gonna drop off of all the old negative frequencies anyways, because once you come to the higher frequency, you no longer gonna resonate with, certain friends, certain family members, and you gonna kind of feel weird of being around them, because it's so everything gonna pretty much naturally fall off once you do elevate to that next level. And
Yeah.
I was reading this study the other day, and it was like, and it was saying, some scientists was saying like, the highest level of IQ is when you can become self-aware of your own thoughts. Like, what am I thinking about? What am I
Hmm.
doing? Why am I doing this? Why am I saying that? Because and my wife said something to me, bro. It made me think. She was like, people who go to church, you know,
The scripture says control your thoughts too.
and that's kind of and that's why a good thing of writing them down in the journal, like, because bro, you'll be surprised if people just take away their social media and they sit down and just sit in a quiet room and just write down the thoughts that go through their mind. They'll be surprised at the bizarre stuff that they think about, and people typically, and it's hard, bro, and people don't want to face themselves.
So
But
so so some I mean, and I think we just talked about this about intrusive thoughts, right? So every thought is not yours. You feel me? So just because you think it doesn't mean it was something that you thought. Remember I just said you can sit at home and be like, man, I think my girl cheating on me. And then really choose to believe that.
jump right
That's
into
called
it.
an intrusive. That's called an intrusive thought. That's why the scripture says to cast down every evil thought. You have to cast down these things. You get what I'm
You
saying?
also got to look at it from this angle too,
Talk to me.
because yeah, the devil can put intrusive thoughts into you, but I also learned through trauma healing that can also be referred to as projection. Are you a cheater? Is that why you
What?
thinking creep thoughts on your wife out because of what you did when you was being creeped when you was out? It also could be projection, and that comes from trauma too.
No,
Because
I
a lot
mean,
of a
I,
cheater they will project. Are you cheating on me? Accusing their spouse of cheating when they the ones really cheating.
so we went to a show performance. I sent you the video of the performance me, Zion, and Buster did, right?
Yeah.
So we did a performance, and it was a moment within that show where this white guy, he was there, bro. He really didn't want to be there. You could tell that he wasn't in the mood to be there, bro. And he was only there for prayer. He only came so people can pray for him. I felt them, bro. I felt this energy. I felt how concerned he was, and how hurt he was, bro. And what he said is that he's been completely honest. He's been completely faithful. He's been, doing it by the word of God. You know what I'm saying? His marriage. But he feels as if his wife is not being completely
I
honest with
think
him.
you told me this. I think you told me about this. Yeah, I remember this.
And it just dawned on me because it's like here he is, right? Being completely faithful, being completely submissive, or and being that person that he needs to be for his wife. And but in his mind, right? His mind, something is telling. He has no ocular proof that his wife is cheating. He said, "I think." He said, "I
But why
think."
you gotta ask him why he thinking though? Is she staring out to 6 a.m. in the
Because
morning?
it's not. But see,
Is
that's the
she
thing. It's not
what?
him thinking it. This is what I was trying to break down to you, brother. It's not him always. It's not him that's thinking it. Every thought ain't yours. You feel me? That's why
Yeah.
it tells you to cast down thoughts. So Satan can plant seeds in your head just as well as our creator can. Your creator can tell you, hey man, let's do oh man, you should do a podcast with Yacho. You know what I'm saying? He could put these ideas in your head, but we know right from wrong. We know what's righteous and what's unrighteous.
Hmm.
Now it's
Yeah.
just now it boils down to discernment. Make a decision. Make a decision on what you're gonna do. Yeah, yeah.
Hey, but it's a beautiful podcast, boy.
I love it, bro. I love it, bro. I
Bro,
think,
this
bro, you
this
you really have inspired me to want to do this myself because a lot of conversations that we may have on the phone, like we always do and stuff, they need to be having here. You know what I'm saying? Like we need people to be able to lock in on this and maybe can learn something from it and take what we've been through and kind of put it in their life and put it in perspective to do something different. You know what I mean? I think these conversations are a must have. You know what I mean? So at any time, bro, anytime you want me to come on here, I'm here. You know what I mean? Period.
yeah, bro, I
Like I
like
say, I
this,
would like I say,
bro.
I want to start something myself, and I want to change the narrative, and I want to bring up uncomfortable conversations, and I want to talk about things that need to be said.
Oh yeah,
Whatever.
yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, we
I mean,
definitely can. Yeah. What was your like? What was your? Cause I know what my breaking point was. Like, what was your breaking point? Like, what started happening to you in your life to make you like transition over?
Um, well,
Because
my
you said
uncle
about 2 years ago, right?
about three now. It's
Oh,
about
three?
three. Yeah, about three now, bro. Honestly, um, but since it's been three that I've been in the truth, bro. But it's been forever, bro. That the Most High been knocking at my door. Feel me? He been
Yeah.
knocking. It just I wouldn't answer, and it just took a moment in my life, bro, where I was like lonely and down, and I had nothing but to go to the Creator about my problems. And I recall going through a bad breakup with my ex, and I was homeless. I was living in one of my cars and stuff like that, and it hit me real bad one day, dog. Real bad. I don't know, it just hit me so bad. And I prayed and I cried and I prayed and I cried. And I asked for something in my prayers that I really didn't know what I was asking for. That's why they say you got to be careful what you ask for. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I asked our creator, bro, like to show me what is everything about. Show me, give me some wisdom, give me some knowledge about what's going on earth, and give me the things that I need to be doing. And I can't tell you when the veil came off my face or my eyes, bro, but I can tell you, bro, within days I was feeling differently.
And seeing,
I saw things differently. Like I used to see women in shorts and shit, like short shorts or whatever, and I don't even think the same when I see it. You get what I'm saying? I used to be very lustful. Now I look at all women in their eyes. I'll look at all of them as sisters.
did you ever
Like,
get to the root cause of what made you so lustful? Like what made you that way? Because to be honest with you, bro, I'm overly sexual myself, and it has caused arguments and rifts in my relationship, and that came from me getting molested by older boy cousins. I got molested by older girl cousins. Like nobody even, bro. My mom don't even know this about me, bro.
yeah,
Like the traumas I done been through, and like, cause I had to ask myself, why am I like that? Why am I over sexual? And I had to get to the bottom of the root cause of what made me become like this. And I still got to kind of heal the trauma on that, bro. I still got to go meditate on that. I still got to go write in my journal on that, and I still got to kind of like get
so
that.
all of these things that attack us are spirits and demons, right? And in order to get rid of these evil entities and demons, bro, that try to attack us with lust or lies or porn or just anything of that nature. It could be anything. It could be marijuana. If you have a marijuana addiction, that's a demon. So the scripture tells us to fast and to pray. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it take sleeping in the other room and not and going through a celibate point in your life. You get what I'm saying?
See, but that's
Sometimes it
that's that that's kind of why I want to challenge you at, bro. Because how
talk to
you
me.
just, because that's kind of what like I face myself. Because how you just said you could have the porn addiction, you could have the weed addiction, but
Hmm.
I kind of feel like that's victim mindset. Satan doing this to me. Well, like Satan could put it in front of you, but he ain't putting a gun to your head and making you go look up that website. You actively doing that yourself. He could put the temptation in front of you, but you got to ask yourself,
that's
why you falling weak
I
and
mean
why you doing it.
that's the free
Where is
will.
trauma coming from?
That's the free
That's
will.
that's what I'm saying. So when you
So
saying Satan, no, Satan ain't make you smoke that weed. You went and bought the weed from the dealer. You rolled it up in that gar, and you
yeah,
doing that. He
but
might have
the
put the
spirit
temptation in front of
upon
you.
but that's the seed. The temptation was he put the temptation on Eve, right? He everything that people out here doing that's not aligned with God or our creator, they're being a subject to temptation. You get what I'm
And with that
saying?
temptation comes free will, and that's where you gotta kind of
Yeah.
like point
So
back
in
to
areas
yourself.
in areas where you may have under control, there's are other areas in your life that you don't have in control.
It's a reason for that. It's a
No,
reason
it's a
for that.
reason.
But
There's a reason. That's not just you. I'm saying that's for everybody. Because none of us perfect. None of us are perfect. So therefore, we're gonna go through some things. We're gonna touch the stove. Mama said, don't touch the stove. We touched it and had to realize it was hot. She told us not to. The scripture tells us not to do certain things. We still gonna do it. Of course, we have the decision making, the discernment to not do it, but we still do what our parents gave us the blueprint, bro. They Our parents told us what to don't steal, Justin. You knew that.
Cause yeah,
You
cause
knew
that's
that.
what
You
when
knew
you,
that. But it's a spirit that came upon you to say, hey, no, fuck that. I'm gonna steal the car.
but it's
I'm gonna
still
steal it.
it's still a free will thing. Even when if a spirit coming to you, it's still because God gave you free will. That's
But
why he like you could choose this
the
path.
scriptures say to get those demons out of you, you have to fast and pray. Do you ever notice if you work out for 30 days straight, you'll become a person who love to work out? That is what all he's trying to say. To purge these demons out, for them to stop trying to even for them to stop even trying to pull you in. This is how you get them out. Car, if you want to stop smoking, you want to bust that weed demon that's telling you, oh, not today, you'll quit tomorrow. You'll quit tomorrow. What you better do is sit home, pray, and fast. Because after 3, 4, 5 days, I'm not even the taste might not even be there for me no more. I might not even want the taste no more. You get what I'm saying? This is how you purge demons out. Hey, baby, I'm finna sleep on the couch tonight, or I don't want to touch you because I want to control my lustful spirit. I want to put my flesh. I want to die to this. I want to die to it. That's why I say you have to die daily. Our flesh will send us in a place where we don't want to go. So we have to move off the ruach, the Holy Spirit. We got to know, make that decision, like you said.
Yeah,
It's all boils down to the decision making, right?
it
But
all
we're
it
in
all
the world, but we're also in a world of heavy, heavy temptation. And we're
yeah.
in a world where what's not good is good.
Cause yeah, when I was talking
You
to you the
get
other
what I'm
day,
saying?
when you was like the yeah, of course, like when you was like Satan got the one who already robbing, and I'm like, and I thought about it, I'm like, that's kind of a victim mindset. Because if you get caught for robbing and you go to jail and the judge like, why did you do it? Satan made me do it. Well,
No,
Satan gave you the
no, no, no.
temptation.
See. You thinking
You
in a car.
you
You're still
you
you're speaking in a fleshly manner, in a
no
carnal
what
manner.
so, but the point I'm trying to get across is people gotta become aware and kind of take responsibility. Because like even though because with the free will, you just gotta become aware of what you're doing and take the responsibility in your own hands with the help of God and with all of the help of the other, like we talked about from the beginning. Like people go to church and they wait for God to walk out of a gate. People want a job and they wait for God to drop money in their bag out of the sky somewhere. You got to go work for
No,
that. You got to go put in the work and you got to go down that path. And that's
absolutely.
just my thing because people that's where they get stuck at. You know, you got to
So
become aware and kind of
it's
take
not.
responsibility for your own action.
I mean, the first thing to turning away from everything is the awareness part, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's the very first thing is to knowing what's your problem. You know what I'm saying? But when I say things about Satan being attacking us and don't want to see us be on the right path, I'm also saying that we have to fight against it. I'm also saying you have to put on the armor of Yah because if you don't, remember I said the people that's being attacked are the people who are not knowing they're in a battle. It's people that don't know they're in this fight. So they allow Satan's mechanisms to do whatever. They allow these things to happen because they don't even realize it. They don't know fornication is bad. They're ignorant. But fornication, Satan has made fornication look good to them, feel good to them. You feel me? He makes what is wrong look good. He switches our mindset to think that what we're doing is good and great, but in actuality, it's not.
Yeah, bro. When I cause like I said,
You
when I
do have to move. You do have to move accordingly. That's the only way. You can't say, like,
cause
do you think fasting and prayer are a physical thing or is it a mental thing? It's a physical, right?
Yeah.
I have to physically not eat. I have to physically feed myself with the word every single day until I purge this demon out. It's a physical thing that I have to do. It's not like it coming to me and no, I have to get up. I have to don't eat. I have to, anoint myself with oil. You get what I'm saying? I have to go. I have
Yeah.
to smile. I have to act. I have to not let people know that I'm fasting. You get what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it's a physical thing too. I have to deny the flesh. I want to smoke better than a mother right now. Feel me? But I have
Yeah.
to deny the flesh.
When I cause like I said, bro, when I was doing all of this stuff, bro, in my house, and I was like, cause like I said, I got my family, I got great kids,
Hmm.
and when I'm inflicting all of this, bro, I just what I came to realize is, like I said, the main thing is, bro, is you got to deprogram yourself, and deprogramming can come with like you said, a lot of different things: fasting, meditation, journalism. But you got to deprogram yourself. You got to figure out
Unlearn
why
and
you would
relearn.
bro, you gotta unlearn. Bro, I've been taught so much messed up stuff, Kari. Like, bro, I've been taught so much fucked up shit that it became a norm for me. It became normal. I think what I'm doing is normal.
The
You know,
whole
I
world,
thought,
the whole world has been taught something different. The whole
and and
world, the whole
and and
world.
and that process of deprogramming, bro, that it is a big process, bro, because once you do it, it's like it's kind of like being the black sheep of your family. Because when you grow up, bro, everything you taught by your family, and when you kind of go on your own path, you kind of going against everything that you was taught. You
Yeah.
know, and a lot of people are scared of that because it's the unknown, you know, that unknown path. I'm going against everything I've been taught my whole life. And that was
Mm,
a scary thing for me because
mm,
I'm like, I didn't know what was on the other side. I'm like, what's on the other side of this? You know, like even when I stopped my criminal life, bro, and I went to marriage with my kids, I was even scared about that because I was like, I know about the criminal life, but I was like, and it was weird how I thought about it in my head. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try to do this experiment. I'm gonna try to be a square and a lame guy for a year straight and be good. And I just want to see what it's like, bro. And when I tried it, I was like, wow, this is. I get to sleep peacefully at night. I don't have to worry about nothing and look over my shoulders. And so it was just that unknown, but I was scared of that unknown because I didn't know what to
yeah.
even expect.
But
And a
fear.
lot of
That's it right there. Our creator didn't give us the spirit of fear. These are demons. You got to purge that spirit of fear. These are things that we have to let go. You get what I'm saying?
these,
Fear is
yeah,
one of the biggest things, bro. A lot of times, bro, the Bible say discipline your child. Spare the rod, spoil the child, right? A lot of us
hmm
are fearful to discipline our child because we may go to jail. They instill fear in us. He makes you think what is right is wrong, but what's wrong is right. You just said here and said the comfortability of that lifestyle that you were living, it felt right. But the fear didn't let you go on the other side of this road. It did. You end up doing it because you conquered it. You conquered that fear. You went on the other side to see what it was about, and you was
yes, sir.
able to see what it was about, and you see that it was love there. It was somebody that actually loved you for who you are, not your past life. Don't judge you. You get what I'm saying? That's a
Yes,
blessing.
sir.
That's a blessing that the Creator has gave you, bro.
That's
And
that's uh, that's another problem I got too with judging. Because my stepdad judged me so much, bro. I be judging my wife. I judge everybody else. That's another problem I had. I had to deprogram myself on that aspect because my wife used to be like, man, you walk around this motherfucker like you all high and mighty, talking down and talking shit to everybody.
like you ain't
I
never
had to
been through
question
nothing.
myself like I never, bro. I was walking like I was king, and my wife like, what type of shit you on? Acting like you perfect. And I had to think to myself, what did I learn this from? My stepdad judged, bro. My stepdad called me cowards, told me I wasn't gonna be nothing, bro. Judged me my whole life. He made sure that he crushed my heart out by letting me know I wasn't gonna be nothing and that I was a coward, bro. So all I do now is go around the house, judge my wife, I judge my son. Those
So
shoes you wear in the school ugly. So I had to really learn, like, where am I getting this from?
so so
And
so go ahead, bro. I'm sorry. Because you
and,
just
and
made
I
me
and
think
I
about something.
and I had to, and I'm still working on that, by the way, because I'm
Hmm.
not perfect, bro. And I'm still learning to deprogram myself on all the bad traits I picked up from my stepdad. Cause like I said, even though I'm a God-fearing man, I
Hmm.
still have these bad traits that was just beaten to me,
Subconscious,
and I just
subconscious.
and I just do them naturally.
Yeah,
That's what I'm like. I'm judging people like I'm like, and I don't even know I'm judging until
yeah.
my wife had to point it out to
But
me, and now I'm working on de-learning it and deprogramming myself, which is not an easy process. It ain't an easy process, bro. But I'm getting to the bottom of it and just trying to become a better version of myself every day.
yeah, every day you got to die to your flesh, die to yourself. Every day you should be trying to be more be that spiritual person. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I had a conversation with one of my partners. And I was just like, I asked him would he do certain crimes in front of his father, in front of his dad. He told me no, and I was like, so why don't we think about our father who's always watching us? Like why don't we think like, oh, I should do this because I know my father's watching me at all times. If I wouldn't do this in front of my earthly father, why would I do this in front of my heavenly father? We always got to move as if we know someone is always watching.
that's called having integrity.
Let's do, yeah,
Integrity with God. Integrity with just period. Integrity in your flesh.
yeah,
Integrity in the spiritual, in
yeah,
the physical.
yeah, in the physical. You're absolutely right, bro. That's exactly what it is. You know,
It's funny, bro, because when I learned to drop my when I had my spiritual awakening, like, and I learned that when I think egotistical, like, that's when I view everything in a negative perspective. But when I view everything spiritual, I'm looking at the beautiful trees, the
oh,
beautiful sky.
you thinking
I got
about the better
legs to walk
outcome. You
on.
thinking about the better
I,
outcome.
I'm looking at everything. I'm
It's
like, wow, it's so
it's
beautiful. I hear the birds chirping. I'm like,
hey
I got a
feels.
beautiful family.
Hey feels. It's
I,
always a beautiful side to the spirit. It's always a beautiful view to the spiritual side.
yes, bro.
You
But when
know?
you think with that earth brain, when you think with that egotistical mind, like a lot of people
Yeah,
do,
yeah.
it's you gonna view everything negative, bro. You gonna hop on to everything. And I always ask myself that why everybody so quick to view something as being the glass. Because I never understood the concept when people used to be like, you gotta view the glass as half empty or half
Half
full. And
full.
I never knew what people meant by that. It's
Right.
all of the perspective because if you viewing it half empty, you viewing it negatively. If you viewing it half full, then you viewing it positively. And
So
but
I
I
try to
never
look at
understood
things.
that.
Yeah, I try to look at things from a broad spectrum. I try to put my shoe in everyone's shoe that's in the situation. You get what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
That's why I was able to be like, well, bro, you know, for instance, and I ain't gonna bring up the brother name, but you know, he was in a situation where he wanted to go to the studio, and his girl was like, "No, bro, he wanted to borrow some money to go to the studio, and he was gonna pay her back or anything and everything." And she was just like, "No," and she was just basically telling him it was a reason for her no. You know what I'm saying? It was a reason why
Yeah.
she said no because this your other half. This your other half, bro. This your significant other. So she knows what's best at times.
Yeah.
You know, she has to respect your decisions as well. But it was just like knowing knowing, bro, how to step back and listen. And sometimes you can't respond. Because I told you myself, bro, I'll be quiet, bro, before I respond. Because I may not have the words to say at this moment. And I don't want to dig myself deeper. I got to look at what I say. You can say whatever you want about me, but long
Yeah.
as I don't curse you back, I'm okay. It's long suffering. I'm gonna
You
take
know what's
those
funny
L's.
about what you said? That's a part of having awareness, being
Yeah,
aware of your thoughts, bro. Being aware, like, cause that's what my wife taught me, bro. She was like, every time you about to go be aggressive with the kids or talk nasty, she was like, just stop and think. Like, am I doing this from a place of care? But like, what am I feeling? Like, what are my emotions at this time? You know, before I go step to my kids or go step to her and say
hmm,
something, what am I feeling on the inside?
right.
Like, and she just taught me for that split second, just stop and become aware of what angle you come. Are you coming from a nasty angle? Or are you coming from a place of love when you about to do what you about to do? and that has helped me a lot, further me. But because once you become more aware, it becomes natural. You start to do it like a robot. Okay, why am I about to do this? You start
Yeah,
second guessing everything. Is this even right? Am I coming with good intention behind it? She always taught me, be careful, Justin, of your intention. Because, bro, I felt so much guilt from things I've done, bro, like throughout my marriage, bro, to my wife and bro, and yelling at my kids and being nasty. I felt so much guilt, Corey, and cried in so many corners, bro, of depression, bro. And I was just sick of it, bro.
that's
But,
called that's called conviction. That means
and
that means you have a spirit in you, bro, that's still working. A lot of people don't have that. A lot of people don't have conviction. No, a lot of people don't have the Holy Spirit convicting them of things that they done wrong, bro. And I'm sorry to cut you off, 'cause I know it's probably more to
no.
that though. You know what I'm saying? But
And she just taught me, like, cause like when I be about to go do something to my son, like I'll say something, she'll be like, what is your intention behind it, Justin? Do you really even care about the situation of what's going on? Like, she's like, why are you, ask yourself, why are you doing it? Just ask yourself why. She was like, because you know damn well if your intention ain't right, you're gonna be in here crying to me later on tonight, talking about you feel guilty about what you did. So she like, just ask yourself. So, bro, that has stopped so much stuff from me doing in the last 4 years, bro. It has
mhm,
stopped me from causing my son so much additional trauma, bro, by just being aware and stopping and thinking about what is
yeah.
my real intention. Why
Remember
am I going to do this?
remember I mentioned the armor of Yah? Remember I said that?
Yes, sir.
The armor of
Yes,
Yah.
sir.
Well, one of those you have the helmet of salvation, right? So we all know what the sword is. The sword is the Bible, that word. But we have this thing called the helmet of salvation. And this helmet is a protection mechanism to guard your mouth, to guard your actions. If I said, Fields, man, you a fuck nigga, da 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 da, you pussy ass nigga, right? It
Mm-hmm.
went to your head first, didn't it? When I said that, it went to your head. You either can have that helmet of salvation on or not. You feel me? It's on you.
Yes, sir.
If the helmet ain't on, you gonna say, Corey, what you mean? You a pussy ass nigga too. Fuck you. Da da da. But if you know how to calm a storm with a kind word, if you know how to respond with love, these are the things that's gonna help you speak with love and treat people with love and do everything in love.
Yeah,
So
God is the highest
when you
frequency of
yeah,
love.
so when you come to your stepson and you're in maybe it's a disciplinary conversation right at the moment. Maybe it's ain't about girls or school. Maybe this is something he did wrong that you want to talk to him about. You find a place of love when you're doing it. My mama used to yell at me and scream to the top of her lungs. She didn't realize that shit was going through one ear, not the other. But I had an auntie, God bless her soul, bro. She used to take car and she'd say it like this, bro. You're not good at stealing cars, bro. Like you're not good. You're not good at it. You need to maybe you ever thought about trying something that you might be good at? It's
Hey,
just my
that's a real.
but it's the deliverance. It's the love. It's how she spoke with love, bro. Not car, your ass back in those stolen cars. Da 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 da. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Children can't comprehend that. Feel me? They can't comprehend loud talking. So
Yeah, I realized that.
I speak with love to my children. Yeah, you do wrong, you're gonna see a different side. But it's gonna be with love though. Like
Yes, sir.
when our father chastises us, it's with love. Cause guess what? You could have been dead, but you did 6 years.
Yes, sir.
You get what I'm saying? I'm gonna put you in
Yeah.
timeout. I'm gonna put you in timeout. I'm gonna put you in timeout. I'm gonna slap your wrist. I'm
I
gonna
underestimated your
sit you.
trauma.
Go ahead.
And I'm glad you brought it up, bro, because I underestimated your trauma too. Because when you made a comment, you was like the other day, you was like, just because, and like I said, my wife told me to stop comparing what you've been through with other people and thinking that they trauma ain't as severe as yours. So when you said something the other day, it really resonated with me when you was like, just because I ain't go to prison and do all the years like y'all don't mean I ain't went through none. Bro, I thought about that night when you said that. And I was like, man, my wife taught me to stop underestimating people's trauma just because they ain't been through what you've been through.
Yeah.
Like it's all the same level in their mind. Just because you went through it worse, the trauma they went through is just as high as yours in their mind.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and that's what kind of helped me, like, stop putting, cause one thing I would do, bro, I would like cause like I said, I'm not perfect. I'm still fixing myself, and I still argue with my wife probably 2 times a week, bro. When I used to argue with her 10 times a day, bro, and she was ready to divorce me. She was ready to divorce me, bro, like 4 years ago, bro, and broke me down so bad, bro. I cried on the floor for a week straight, bro. A week straight, I was in a fetal position. I'm like, it ain't nobody else out there that's even gonna deal with my BS. And I knew this, bro. And I knew I had a good woman. And she really made me dig deep and look into my internal world to figure out where I learned all my fucked up ways from, and I learned them all from my stepdad. Like I'm literally a spitting image of my stepdad. As much as I hated what he did, I do exactly what he did, except the whole physical abuse part. I don't do that part what he did. But verbal, bro, I was off the chain, bro, with my verbal punchlines. I may as well be Lil Wayne with my verbal punchlines on how bad I would tear everybody down.
Right.
Bro, it was horrible, bro. And
You just want
she
you
would
wanted
tell
to pull people down to where you were, how you felt.
bro, so that because I'm hurt, I want you to hurt too.
Right.
Hurt people, bro. People who heal in God, they help other people heal and get into God. But
Exactly. Even though they're going through their own traumas. Like we was on the phone with our partner the other day, and I say, bro, I'm going through the same thing you're going through right now. It's not about the emotional intelligence part, but I'm going through a situation, and instead of you looking for speaking as if you want sympathy, right?
yeah,
I'm gonna speak life because I'm going through what you're going through, but I'm not going.
yeah.
I'm gonna try to build myself up. I'm gonna make you get what I'm saying? And my brother called me with a whole different attitude today. Felt good, and sent me in a YouTube video and stuff like that. So, we're gonna have our days, and that's why I say it's important for us to have each other in each other's life. You know what I'm
But
saying?
let me touch back on this before I forget.
Go ahead.
But what my wife taught me is she said, just because you used to argue with me 10 times a day and you only do it 2 times a week, she was like, that's what you messing up at. You comparing the traumas again. You think because you ain't doing it 10 times a day, she was like, you think the 2 times a week don't mean nothing. She was like, Justin, it still means something. She's like, stop comparing the trauma. And she's like, that's where your problem at. And that's why you kind of still stuck in that frequency. Even though it ain't as big as it used to be, you still kind of dwindling in it still a little bit. And she helped me. I'm like, damn, I am. And I'm steady comparison. Well, I ain't doing that. And I'm only doing it twice a week now. And she helping me just be better and better, bro. I'm just steadily chipping away.
Praises, bro. All praises to that rib that you have, because that's the whole point of her. That's what she's there for, bro. She's there.
But my wife hurt me.
She's there to show you the things that you can't see.
Bro, she hurt me with what she told me yesterday, bro. She said, Justin, you have judged me so much that even when I get on a spiritual podcast, I feel unworthy. I don't even know if I'm worthy because you have tore me down for so many years, bro. She told me that yesterday, bro.
So it's hard.
That's how judgmental I am, bro.
It's hard to be vulnerable with her. It's hard for her to be vulnerable with you.
She like, bro, you have tore me. She said, Justin, I feel unworthy. I don't even know if I'm worthy because of how much you have judged me. And I'm like, dang. And that's just my stepdad judged me and tore me down. So I judged her and tore her down, bro, for 10 years, bro, until she was about to divorce me. And which made me face myself in the mirror.
Okay, for sure. That was my question I was going to ask you, but that's good. You had to look at yourself in the mirror. You had to have some self-awareness to be like, what am I doing here in this situation? Yeah. A lot of times we go through things because of what we're doing as a human being, as like in our lives, personal lives.
Yeah, people create their own hells and they try to blame it on other people when you got to sit back and become aware and see how you creating your own hell. And that's what I had to realize, bro. I was creating my own hell, and I literally got heaven on earth with this beautiful family. and these beautiful kids that, because I'm like, how could God give me the privilege, bro? As much evil shit I done, God giving me the privilege to raise this family?
Yeah, I
How
mean,
could he give me
because
the
because he knew you before you knew you. I knew that I was going to use Justin Fields for a purpose. I knew this, but I knew he had to go through these little trials like everybody else. Moses killed somebody. Abraham had different situations. Nobody was perfect that he used, bro. Nobody. Name one person that was like perfect besides our Messiah. He can
You right,
use
bro.
the broken. He can use the broken, dog. He can sway the hearts of kings, bro.
And I hated myself, bro. I hated these bad parts of myself so bad, bro. You have no idea, bro. I hated myself, bro. I hated what I just did. I felt so much guilt and
I have an idea,
depression.
bro. I have an idea, bro.
And
I have an idea, bro. I done wrong to people. I done wrong to people, bro. So I understand. I understand that hurt. You
I'm
know,
I'm still kind of trying to learn to forgive myself to this day. Like I
bro.
said, I'm
I didn't made public. I didn't made public apologies before. You know what I'm saying? Hoping that it hit whoever I didn't hurt before. It's so many people that I done wrong to. It's hard for me to touch them individually. I done made public apologies before, bro. I didn't, but I feel like the only person that I owe an apology to is my creator. I need you to forgive me for what I said to Justin. I need you to forgive me for me cheating on my wife. I need you to forgive me for this little white lie I just told my daughter. I need your forgiveness because how will I ever make it into this kingdom that this Bible talk about? How will I ever inherit the kingdom if I can't live righteous right now? If I can't follow his instructions right now? Enjoy this.
bro. This was so wrong.
Yeah,
I
man.
used to steal cars with you, and now I'm doing podcasts with you.
Yeah, it's
What is
beautiful,
going
bro.
on in the
Bro, I just made a post about you and Zion, bro. I shared the podcast and I said, bro, it's amazing how powerful our creator is and what he can do to change people, bro. You get what I'm saying? Like, I've been influenced by you to do some things I ain't supposed to do. And to watch you do this before everybody, before everybody can make that dramatic change and have some type of spiritual awakening, bro, you was the first person, bro. You was the first person to show us like, hey, you need a wife. As far as peers go, as far as peers go, we already had the example in our house. We had a marriage in our household, so we had the
yeah.
example. The example was there. You feel me? But the influence be heavier than the example. So I had a marriage household. I grew up in a marriage household, but my partners, my peers, bro, they influenced me to do things, steal cars, break into houses, and I influence people to do other things as well. Man, it's
It's
just
just crazy to see, bro. I led
awareness.
so many people. I led so many people down the wrong path, bro, and to be on a path with God with y'all, bro, it's like I'm on a different timeline in a different universe, bro. Like it's just so surreal to me, bro. Like it's mind blowing to me, but it's so amazing that I get to do this with y'all, bro. I don't have to cut off none of my all the people who I led astray, bro, and I get to be on this. It's like a dream state,
I
bro. To be
love
doing this
that.
with y'all.
I love that you said that because I said the same thing, bro. It's amazing to be around people who hasn't quite transitioned yet, right? But they respect your move. You know, they respect
Yeah,
who you're growing into be. Like nobody ever said anything to you remotely about you doing the wrong thing. Although your peers are still doing the same shit. All of your peers that you grew up with prior to you knowing them changing their life, bro, they were doing the same thing. But nobody ever judged you. Nobody ever said that there's something wrong about that. Feel me?
yeah.
If anything, people respected the marriage move and the change of environment. That was probably the best thing for you. You just you listened to your spirit and you followed it, bro. You heard
Yes,
it
sir.
and then you took action. You just said, bro, because the life you were living was comfortable. It was comfortable. It was comfortable to get in trouble. It was comfortable to get in those do these things, bro. Especially then you being glorified to do it too. Like, you
Yeah.
feel me? It's like, bitch
Yeah.
feels. It feels. You know what I'm saying? You're being glorified. So that what that do to your ego?
Boast it, make
I'm
you want to
talking about,
do it more, prove
oh,
yourself some
young
more.
boy, I got my little homies. I got my little homies looking up to me. Yeah, I'm finna keep doing this. So when you made the transition, when it wasn't nothing but the creator, ain't nobody. I know it wasn't nobody that told you to do this, but the creator. He changed you. He took the veil off your eyes. He blessed you with a woman who care. You know what I'm saying? That really care, bro. We didn't been in relationships where women say they care, bro. You know
Yeah.
that. You know this feeling is different.
Yeah.
This feeling is different, bro. It's unexplainable. And
Yes, bro. And I almost
anyone,
ruined.
either one of us would be real dumb to let it go.
Yeah.
That's why I sent that text to my homeboy yesterday and say, "Hey, go home, bro." Because because although you feel like Satan to put things in your head, I don't need to be here. I need my own space. I can't. I need to heal. But your healing is right there next to you. She the one who
I
telling you
swear, bro.
your healing telling you your trauma. She's telling
Bro,
you
when I
what you like. You wouldn't be able to heal if she wouldn't say, "Hey, you need to stop doing this. You need to stop comparing your traumas." And you wouldn't be able to get to this point of madness. You wouldn't be able to get there if she don't say it.
when I let my ego go, I learned to listen to my wife and just not be on defense like she was the enemy, and I learned to take her advice.
Hmm.
Because and I seen how much my life had became, like how it changed. I was like, wow, bro, I've been doing this wrong the whole time. I'm like letting my ego take charge and run my life. I almost ran my family in the ground, and
Yeah,
realizing, bro, she just wanted, bro, a lot of people do the same thing I did, and they don't even realize your wife is really your helpmate. But a lot of dudes don't know how to lower their ego to actually let them help and actually take that advice in their heart
hmm,
and apply it.
correct, correct.
But yeah, we on about an hour and 20 minutes now, bro. But yeah, we gonna
We
stop because
good. We good.
I want to keep this. We gonna have to talk about some more stuff, boy, because this is about to get nice. I'm
Yeah, yeah,
loving
yeah.
it.
I was gonna keep going. My bad, bro. I put you back. I threw you down that rabbit
Bro,
hole.
you about to make this 2 hours, bro. I love you, bro.
I love you
This gonna be
too.
hard for me to chop this, bro. I love
I
you.
love you
I'm
too,
about
bro.
to
I
get
love you
off.
too. And make sure you chop it up, send it to me, man, so I can get it going, man. And then
All right.
whenever we can get on the phone, I need to talk to you so I can kind of get some things lined up with the podcast as well.
Okay.
All
All
right.
right, bro. Love you, bro.
All right, love you more, brother. You know that.